Hi and welcome to Yarnspirations. I'm Mary Beth Temple for Hooked for Life, and in this video we're going to take a closer look at the Crochet Diamond Bobble Blanket. This is a textured stitch. I'm using Bernat Baby Velvet in Ever After Pink. You can click on the link below to download the free pattern and get all the information about materials. While you're down there, subscribe to the channel for fresh content weekly on knitting, crocheting, and other yarny stuff. Let's learn how to make the bobbles and where we have to put them, and that's all there is to make this cool blanket. Following the instructions, you have done a chain 113, and if you need to change the width of your blanket, just know that you need to chain a multiple of 13 plus 5. So for the first row, the right side row, and of course my chain is much smaller, you're going to single crochet in second chain from hook and single crochet in next chain. Now, as those of you who watch us here in Yarnspirations know, I like to work my foundation rows in the back or the bump of the chain instead of the front or the V, because I think it makes a neater finish. So let's count. Second chain, 1, 2, and I'm just going to insert my hook front to back through the bump. Yarn over, pull it through, yarn it, pull it through for my single crochet. So that's my second chain from hook, and then I'm going to single crochet in the next one, chain 1, skip 1 chain, single crochet in each of next 11 chain. So there's my skipped one. And here's my chain 1 up here, and we're going to single crochet in each of the next 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. See, that's the top of my stitching and that's the bottom, and you see how working in the back or the bump gives you that nice neat edge that looks just like the top? That's why I do it. But you can work in the front if that's what you're used to. Then we're going to chain 1, skip next chain. So now it says repeat from asterisk to the last 2 chains. So the last thing we did before the second asterisk was chain 1 and skip next chain. Now we go back to where the asterisk is. It says single crochet in each of next 11 chain. So once again, we're going to single crochet in each of next 11, and you're going to repeat that over and over again. It'll be single crochet in next 11, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet in next 11, etc., until you get to the end where you have 2 chains left. Let's see if I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 5, 6, and I'm coming up to the end of my chain because I only have 2 repeats. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, chain 1, skip 1 chain, and remember we have followed that asterisk all the way across until 2 chains remain. I have 1 here and 1 here, and I'm going to single crochet in each of those last 2 chains. That is the end of my first row. Yours of course will be longer. So we're going to turn the work. Beginning the second row, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet in next single crochet, so not the edge one because that's the one our chain 3 sits on top of, but single crochet in the next one, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, double crochet in each of next 11 single crochets. So there's 11 single crochets there before the next chain 1 space, and we're going to put a double crochet in each of them. Three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, oops, pick that back up, chain 1, skip next chain 1 space, there it is, and then we're going back to the asterisk again, the first one, double crochet in each of next 11 single crochet. So once again, I only have one more repeat because I have a smaller piece, but you're going to repeat from the asterisk over and over and over again until you have 2 double crochet or 2 single crochets left. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, chain 1, skip that chain 1 space, double crochet in each of last 2 single crochets. That's the end of our second row, and then we're going to turn the work. So you can see our chain 1 spaces are lining up right on top of each other, and that's going to be important later. But it's also a really good way to know that you are sticking with the pattern. If your chain 1 spaces are not lining up, then it is possible that you have a miscount somewhere. So for the third row, we're going to chain 1, which I just did right out of habit, single crochet in each of next 2 double crochets. So because that chain 1 turn doesn't count as a stitch, we're single crocheting in both of those first 2 stitches. So that was 1 and 2. Bobble in next chain 1 space 2 rows below. Now this is not tricky, but you do want to pay attention to where everything's going. So your hook goes from front to back like it always does, but you want to keep your working yarn behind the work because you want to enclose these chain 1 spaces in the bobble. So we're going to yarn over hook twice and draw up a loop, and we're going down to the very first chain 1 space, drawing up a loop. Be careful not to pull too tight because you want the stitch to lay nice and flat, and because we're going so far down, your instinct is going to have a death grip on it, but you need to leave it relatively loose so that the bobble lays flat. Yarn over, hook, and draw through 2 loops on hook twice. 1, 2. So we're going to do that whole ball game 5 times. So that was 1, 2, in that stitch, 2 rows below, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 twice. 1, 2. So that's 2 times, 3 more times. Yarn over, hook twice, in that same space, yarn over and pull it up, yarn over, pull through 2 twice. That's 3, 4, and 5. Let me pull up a little more yarn here. And now it says pull up yarn, pardon me, yarn over and draw through 6 loops on hook. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to yarn over and pull it through everything. And that's going to finish up the stitch. So let's take a real close look at that. This is what it looks like on the front. It's in that space 2 below. But if you look at it, it's completely reversible because that chain, it's enclosed in there. You can't see it. So the bobble looks nice and smooth and flat on both sides. So this is the wrong side of the work. And this is the right side of the work, but look how nice and flat that is. So that's our bobble stitch. We're going to single crochet in next double crochet, and you're going to have to find the top of that stitch. I like to sort of squish that bobble over a little so I can see it, but it's right there. So that was single crochet in the next double crochet, chain 1, skip next double crochet, single crochet in each of next 7. So we're skipping this guy and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, nope, 4, 5, 6, 7, chain 1, skip next double crochet, single crochet in next double crochet, and now it says bobble in chain 1 space 2 rows below. So let's look at that bobble one more time. So not 1 row below, but 2 rows below, all the way back to the beginning in our case. Yarn over, hook twice, insert it 2 rows below, keep that working yarn behind so you enclose those chains. Yarn over, pull through 2 twice. All right, that was 1. We're going to do it 4 more times for a total of 5. 2, 'Yarn over twice, back in the same spot. Bring up your yarn over through the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 twice. This is the 3rd time. This is the 4th time. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and this is the 5th time. Then I'm going to have 6 loops on my hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over, pull through all 6. Once again, nice and flat in the front, nice and flat in the back, and those chain spaces are enclosed. So you're going to repeat from asterisk to the last two double crochets. So we're going back to the asterisk, which is single crochet in next double, which is here. Chain one, skip next double, chain one, skip next double, double crochet in each of 7. So in this row, you are putting in bobble stitches, but you're also beginning the setup for the next bobble stitch row when that occurs. 4, 5, 6, 7, chain one, skip one double, double crochet in next double, bobble stitch in the chain one space 2 rows below, and then when that's done, we're just going to single crochet in each of the last 2 double crochet and turn. Here we are at the end of the 3rd row. We're going to turn the work. At the 4th row, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet in each of next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, and the second one that we worked in was the top of the bobble stitch. So we had the chain 3 at the beginning, double crochet in each of next 3, 1 in the single, 1 in the bobble, 1 in the single. It's just the least little bit tricky, but you will develop the hang of it as you keep going. Chain 1, skip next chain 1 space, which is here. Remember how I said the chain 1 spaces line up on top of each other? That helps you know that you're in the right place. Double crochet in each of next 7 stitches. So there's the chain space that I'm skipping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, chain 1, skipped next chain 1 space, double crochet in each of next 3 stitches. So that's the single crochet before the bobble itself, and the single crochet after the bobble. And it says repeat from asterisk to the last stitch, double crochet in the last single crochet. So again, going back to the asterisk, chain 1, skip that chain 1 space, there it is, double crochet in each of next 7, 1, 2, oh my goodness. Well, let's try and go in the next stitch. What do you say? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, chain 1, skip that chain 1 space, double crochet in each of next 3 stitches. That's stitch before the bobble itself, and the stitch after the bobble. So I repeated that until I got to the last stitch, and I'm going to put a double crochet in that last stitch and turn. That is the end of the 4th row, and you can see now we have these chain 1 spaces all set up, one on top of the other. Guess where the bobbles are going to go in the next row. So let's take a look at the 5th row. Chain 1, single crochet in each of the next 4 double crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the ones before the chain space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 'Bobble and chain 1 space 2 rows below, and we know how this goes. Yarn over twice, not the space below but the one under it, and don't pull too tight because you don't want the work to lose height. Yarn over and pull it up through the stitch, yarn over and pull through 2 twice, yarn over, hook twice, back in that same spot. This is our 2nd pass at it. We're going to do it a total of 5 times, just like we're doing all the rest of the bobbles. Now suppose you can't remember how many you made. You're going to keep going until you have 6 loops on your hook, because you know for that very last yarn over and draw through all the loops on the hook, you know you're supposed to have 6. So if you have 7, you did too many, and you have less than 6, you haven't done enough. But that's a good way if you're interrupted and you have to put your work down. It's a good place. It's a good way to know where you left off in the stitch. Although of course we hope that you don't have to put your work down in the middle of a bobble. So there's my 6. Yarn over and pull through all 6. Once again, this is how it looks on the front. Everything's all enclosed in the back. Single crochet in next double crochet. Chain 1. Skip next double crochet. That's this guy. Single crochet in each of next 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, skip 1 double crochet, single crochet in next double crochet, and now we are ready for another bobble. So this is really all there is to this pattern. You just have to get your setup rows in the right place so you see where those chain spaces are, and you've watched me make a ton of bobbles so you know how to do that, and you're going to keep going through the 13th row, and then you're going to repeat the 2nd row through the 13th row for pattern. You're going to keep going until the work measures approximately 39 inches or 99 centimeters from the very beginning, and you're going to make sure that you end with a 3rd row of the pattern so that the top of the work mirrors the bottom of the work. And the other thing I want to point out right on here, when you are getting these stitches between the bobbles, you may have noticed that my bobble was over here and I just scooted it to the right a little bit. It's really easy to miss that first stitch and feel like you've miscounted. So just make sure that bobble stitch is out of the way. You can sort of shove it back into place when you're all done, but make sure that you're counting properly in between. So here's my single crochet in the next double. Chain 1, skip 1, single crochet in the next double, and we're back to the bobbles. So you can see they're starting to go inwards. So as you follow along with the pattern, you're going to get that really interesting diamond shape. So thank you so much for joining us here for the Crochet Diamond Bobble Blanket on Yarnspirations. I'm Mary Beth Temple for Hooked for Life. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for fresh content weekly on knitting, crocheting, and other yarny stuff. We look forward to seeing you again here real soon. Bye-bye.